All right. Sorry I was so late. I at least wanted to start the stream so you guys know um, that I am coming. Um, all right, let's go ahead and let's get started. Start making some music. Is the picture clear and everything? Back. I want this particular kit. Let me see. It's gonna go to another kit. Let's see. This trap. We'll go with this one. See what we get. Woo! I like that. All right. Might have to adjust the sounds a little bit later, but I like how it's kind of, just kind of how it's coming together. And basically, I play around with drum patterns until I feel it. Basically, that I just play around until I go, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? Some people draw their drums in, which I'll be showing on YouTube, different tutorials on how to do that. But I like to play my drums because I like to feel it. You know what I mean? Now, even if some of the notes is off a little bit, a lot of times it depended on the song. Some songs I want everything to hit exactly how it is, so I'm constantly hitting quantize. It just depends on what sound. Some sounds I don't want to hit like right on the thing. So it all just depends on how it go. And then again, you see how I changed it from, I start everything off in piano. So I start everything off in atmosphere. But then I start moving the MIDI notes around to find things that fit my style of play, right? They got plenty MIDI packs and different things. Just make sure when you pull them in, you know, make your own style out of it and how you view it and how you see it, basically. I think I am going to use something. I love my toms, man. Love them. So I just want to see using a plugin called Addictive Drums. These are way more relaxed. Very good for like boom bap, R&B, you know, really cool drums. You know, basic. It's got nice drums in this set. I love it. I love this thing, but I do want to use some sounds in it. That's why I'm using it. This is a way that you can draw notes in, you know, different things of that nature to make it fit how you want it to fit. Boom. Me, I just like to play it. But that's just me, man. That's just me, man. Oh, go back to the right bank here. All right. I'm real particular on how especially the drum sound. Okay, I knew it was something like something just it's not vibing. I'm not vibing. We're gonna go ahead and put this here. And it's just going to squeeze that over here. And like I said, just keep playing around with the drum samples and different things of this nature until you find something you like. The times I might not even use, just a lot of times I add stuff, and then when I get into mixing, I don't like it. So I might, I start tossing it out because it don't match. What's up, Tina? You say it makes sense, huh? I want to see how this bass is fitting in with it. Oh yeah, 80K. Oh yeah, just be in the studio, just trying to make it happen. Have to, right? And the good thing about it is always being able to move. This is why I like to work in MIDI notes until I start arranging. Because you can change the tune, or like that's in horns, right? I might want to change that. I might want to put a flute or whatever, man. It just helps so much when you take a chord progression or a melody and then construct a whole beat behind that. Is like the meat and potatoes, you know what I'm saying? Is on point. Oh, good. I'm glad it's sounding good in your speakers because that's one of the things that, especially when it comes down to like mixing and different things of that nature, the bass is the one element that, especially when I first started, it was rough mixing bass because I didn't understand the space that they took. You know what I mean? Like I used to just feel like just duck one in front of the other and that'll solve your problem. But there's like so much more to it. You know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time learning how to fit bass into a song. You know what I mean? It takes so much of your range. That's why I always keep it in mono. And this is just me constructing the beat. Then after I construct the beat, 8 bars, I range it all the way out to a minute into the beat, and then I just start arranging it the way that taking things out, adding things, beat elements, different things of that nature. But what the stage you guys and ladies are seeing now, is the preliminary stage, just making the beat, right? Putting the beat together. That's kind of the easy part, putting it together. Now after you put it together, you got to make all these instruments fit, right? Cohesively. So that's a challenge sometimes. Yeah, oh yeah. This is just me most definitely doing the basics because like after well, you didn't sat down and watched it, so after this I have to bounce it down into wave files and then run automation if I have to use automation. Um I mean it's just a lot as far as, I just been doing it. When you do it over and over and over and over again, you kind of get a system. That's why a lot of times I like to go on YouTube and listen to, um, what is his name? Devon Terrell, um, um, Brody Beats. Just kind of get ideas from these guys. Concrete Jungle. So just kind of get their take on how they would mix bass or how they would mix a kick. You know what I mean? And that's how I learn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of production, that's for sure. And this is what I was saying, how everything, y'all see how I keep changing the instrument to the melody. Um, and it gives it a different feel every time. So once you find something you like, I just haven't really found anything that I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want that. But um, it gives it a little creepy feel though. Ah, it's all creepy. But if you was going for something like a drill beat, I have to rearrange. I like to put the snare is different. It's on the 3. Is it the 2, 2 and 4, something like that. But it's definitely different. Matthew. Are you the one that did the duet with me? So you just go around for different instruments and now as far as a lot of times what I do, since this is going to be the melody and I'm using a heavy 808, I like to mute out the bottom notes. I don't want to erase it. I just want to mute it. Don't want to erase it because I might need it later. So I'm all up on the wrong thing. I'm tripping. All right, here we go. You don't need the lower registry notes at all. No, that gotta stay. All right. Oh yeah, man. I don't mind, man. You know what I mean? Like I try to make a beat every day anyway, and this is just, you know what I mean, basic beat making, just for people can kind of see the work that we put into a little bit of the work, a fraction of the work that we put in. So you know what I mean? Oh yeah, 80 top. Yeah, he be flowing. Oh yeah, you would be tagged in it. Did I tag you in the last 2 beats? I think I did. Cause I be trying to write people's name down. I know you are one of the newer ones. But I tag you in them anyway. But if I, you know, you might get double tagged, but you know, at least I'll make sure that you on all of them. Normally, if I stack a melody, okay. You say triple you? All right, no problem, man. I got you, 80 top. Let's see. It's like so many different things that like you can do. That's why I love this plugin, man. It's crazy. I like that, but I want to bring it down. I am done with this. So I'm gonna keep that sound. But even just in case, what I like to do is duplicate it, just in case, and throw it over here somewhere. You hear that again. All right. Oh, let me see how it sounds with the toms in it. Nah. I mean, I'm gonna keep them, but I'm gonna have to do some weird stuff to them and set them way in the background. All right, so now that we got that, I'm gonna go ahead and bounce this down because that's what I'm going with. We can remove this. Then what I like to do, name it what it is, flute. Bounce it down. All right. I'll hear it again. And the reason I did that because I think I want to come down a couple of octaves. Let's see. I want to make sure I keep it clean too, because that. Yeah, I thought that's what I was like. That's what I thought. I kept looking like, man, is that the Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. For sure. Hey, man, I'm definitely gonna get at you though, man. You be throwing down, man. Yeah, I was kind of, it was kind of cool to see something different. You know what I mean? I was so used to seeing like rappers and singers. And then when I looked down, I was like, oh, the dude got a saxophone. Yeah, you a beast on that mug too, man. So if I was going to keep that bass, I have to merge it together, which I'm probably not, but if I'm going to keep it, we bounce this section like that. I'm not going to get rid of this because, like I said, I'm probably going to change this up. Put it in mono. And you have to do the same thing pretty much with this. It just depends. And you have to go back here. So after you go back here, you start coming down on it. Oh, that's too much. I can't never get that right there. Here. All right. Always keep everything gang staged. I like to keep everything at 12 dB. All right. Hey, thanks, King Blur. What's up with you, man? How you been? Now, as far as the Alright. I'm gonna get rid of this because I'm not going to use that tom. Alright, I think I want to maybe change something up. Let me see. I mean, I'm gonna change something up anyway, as far as in the oh man, I cut that wrong. My bad. I'll be right back, right back. I gotta check on my son real quick. Oh yeah, I feel you, Matthew. Say you finally had some time, huh, King Blur? I feel you, man. It's been crazy. You know, before I change anything in the drums, I'm gonna bring in arcade. I'm just trying to figure out as far as let's see something. Then I'll bounce all these down. I think I want to add. I think I want to add some more drums in this second part. Just different hits to give it a different feel. And just something that settled, just it changes that second. You know, just to give it a little, give the beat different variety, if you will. It don't have to be anything like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just something that that fit. I really bring that bass back in because I don't know if what'd you say? You like the old bass? Now, when you were like just trying to come up with stuff, a lot of times I use different plugins like Halftime, Looperman, so many different ones that you can use to change up. Let's say if I want to change up the flute. Now I'm just using this if I want to just turn this into like a real like hard hitting trap, right? I'm talking about hybrid kind of trap. Um, I would definitely change out the flute. And what I mean by that is I start adding in different things to see, hey, how would this sound on it? Like if I came down here, okay, let me see if I came down here. I need to cut that back up just a little bit. Now, I don't like it, but I'm just showing it's for a reason. Now, you crank up it to 170, and you take the drums out, of course. I just want you to hear the melody. And that's the only thing I did was halftime it, right? Or let's see, take the halftime off and reverse it. This works good on the piano. And so that's the thing. Anything, that's where the creativity come in, right? Being, just grabbing a loop and playing a loop, or however that producer does his thing, and warping it, twisting it, and it all depends on the style that you're looking for. Like the last beat that I did, I was looking for like a person sitting in the room listening to music. I wanted to feel alive, right? I wanted to feel alive, like it was breathing. So I think for every track, you have a mindset of a different feel for the producer. So, but all right, let me change all this back because I was just showing the different things that you can do. But let me reverse that back. Put the tempo back. Put the bass back. Then now that I got all this, I want to bring my drums out because now I'm listening to it and I want to hear more fullness, right? Want to hear it more. It's thin to me in my ears. It's thin. So, all right, events. These is my drum sounds that I played on the pad. You know, I hear a lot of people ask me all the time, "Hey, should I?" Oh yeah, that's for sure. Every track has a vision, and they ask, you know, do I have to mix my drums separately? And my response to that is going to always be yes, 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 yes. You want to put everything on its own track. That's the best way to do it. Cause sometimes you got to cut down your bass drum. I mean, I'm sorry, your 808 or your bass drum, whatever you want to call it. Um, or sometimes instruments don't really mesh up well, and so you have to cut one down. So it's very important, man, that things is on its individual track. As you can see, I'm not even done, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks, and I'm probably not gonna add a whole lot more, right? When I'm done, like it's 6 tracks here, I'll probably have 12 or close to 10 because of my parallel. Um, I always parallel my drums in a parallel bus. Um, some people call them buses. Some people call them aux, auxiliary. But I work out of Studio One. It's a bus here, so you know it is what it is. Yeah, harmonies are like that. Most definitely, Matthew. All right. This is actually a stick noise, like a perk. Hey, I appreciate y'all and coming through, man. I appreciate it. And remove this. So now we only have what we need. I'm keeping Omnisphere. That a lot of times that's the last thing I get rid of is Omnisphere because it got so many little quirky noises in it and different things of that nature that I might use. So I always keep it. Try to anyway. Let me put it here. Um, Tracks are already colored, but I'm gonna have to recolor them because I'm about to bounce it down to audio. And you got your kick, your hi-hat, your snare, and a perk. That's it. That was, the only percussions that I have. I might add a top layer, but sometimes you have to know when to stop. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I got it. You know what I mean? Like this is the instruments, and then tweak those instruments throughout the song. Drop them in, drop them out, and do different things of that nature. Speed up a section. Even if you want to do a key change, you can do that. So it's so many different things that you can do. All right. Now for organization purpose, I'm going to put this. I always have my drums in red, so that's important. So I can just look and tell what I'm looking at. It helps. Um, Especially when you like this is small, you know what I mean? But I've had sessions that is 20 some tracks, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to be able to keep up with everything. So I have everything color coded, you know. It helps out a lot. Organization is important. All right, brother. Hey, after I'm working on a project right now, give me a week or two, and then most definitely I get at you. And if I do not get at you in 2 weeks, hit my inbox up. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna write it down on my pad that 2 weeks. I try to write stuff down, man, because I don't want to forget. But if I forget, let me know. All right? Yeah, I definitely gonna work with you. Appreciate you stopping by, man. I think I'm gonna have to bring these drums, my drum plug-in back in, because I don't know, man. I'm hearing something else with the bass. I like the bass. Let's see. Let me go to. But I like the bass. I just don't know. Producer problems, right? Be up all night trying to figure out what bass you gonna put in the song. Alright, put this in here. That was my trap kit too. So we'll go down there. That's KC trap 1. Trap kit 2. I think that's it. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cut it down. Minus 12.7. That's good. Was that bass here? I don't know. I like this one. I don't know. I just have to keep. I play around with it and see. Be like, I like it, don't like it. I like it, don't like it. Because it's clean. I love clean mixes. Because I don't think I want like a heavy 808. I mean, that's like a heavy. It ain't too heavy, but. Like what I like to do too, let's say if I'm fighting and I'm like, man, I really want to change up this bass, right? It ain't hitting me right, or I don't like the way it's hitting. So hold on 1 second. Got a note hiding somewhere. Okay. Put that there. Oh, okay, I see it. played a little off, but I don't want to change the timing of it. Leave it like that. And then you can kind of like go through, once you got like okay, that's how I want my 808 pattern to go. And then you just start adding different 808s and see what sound good. You know what I mean? Wait, because I think I do want the 808 to hit a little harder than that one. Y'all probably can't see it on the screen, but I'm over here in my samples folder and looking for a nice 808. I think it's one of the most important things as far as you know, sound selection. It's a different one. Let's see. What is his name? You know you get old when you start doing that. What is his name? Oh yeah, what's up, Dio? Yeah, man. I already knew you was gonna say that, Brian. That's why I didn't say nothing. But yeah, Dio. Just, you know what I mean? Just showing people a little bit of something. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of something, man. And just a small part, but you know, I've been working in Studio One for about the last on and off for the last 8 years maybe. And I work with MPC 2.5 and then the latest one 2.6. Man, I haven't worked with Ableton. What's up? Vortex. Yeah, I haven't worked with Ableton, whatever they call it. I work with Fruity Loops, like, I mean, I guess it's called Fruity Loops Studio now. And they make some bangers out of there though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be like, man, I ain't getting no Fruity Loops. But they make some bangers out of that mug. For real. But I think it's more geared around beat makers. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't know because I never really played around with it. I had a cracked version when I first started doing beats back in the day. But other than that, I never really worked with it. I think, you know what, I'm just gonna keep that. I do like it, forget it. We rocking with it. All right, tops. We rocking with it. I'm gonna add this just because it adds a little different feel that I want to use later on, or it's part of the song, in the song. Let's see, put this down. The next steps is when a lot of people be like, "Oh man, it's boring, man. It's so boring." It's not bad though. Now that I have everything on its own individual track, um, yeah, I mean, it is different. You know what I mean? Um, I think when I was on the MPC, I loved it, man, because it was so quick to like to bang out something. I had the MPC touch. I ain't had it live. And but I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? The feel of the pads out cold, but I couldn't get used to the I guess like it was I couldn't get used to the DAW. Like I'm so used to working in this kind of environment, Pro Tools, Studio One, different things of that nature. But I made a lot of beats with MPC, man. If you gonna sample MPC be on point with that. Like I wouldn't try to sample inside. I mean you can. Don't get me wrong. I ain't knocking Studio One's impact. Because I use the Atom. That's Personas, Studio One. But I mean, as far as it got the same things, the note repeat, just like any other MIDI controller would have. You know what I'm saying? But as far as sampling, I wouldn't sample in here. I know cats that do it though, but the MPC is much easier to me to sample into it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I think that's why I got kind of like stuck on it, because it was like I got so used to like what you see on screen now is working in playing everything out, MIDI notes, bouncing them down to audio files, you know what I mean, and going from there. Because when I got into making beats, it was like right in that era of leaving analog. You know what I mean? Like it was computers and you know what I mean, different things of that nature. But um, it depends. Hey, is yours hardware? You got the MPC live, right? Cause yours look kind of thick. It look like it's like an MPC live. And then again, I go back in here, I start changing. I can't stress enough. Normally, I would put my 808 into my drum bus. Because a lot of people had that. Well, 808 is so bassy. Do I put it into the drum bus? I personally do. I put my 808s into my drum bus. Um, Bass is a different thing. Like this is a bass. I mean, it is an 808, but it's real bassy. So I might want to treat it differently. So. Oh, the speaker. You got that new one, the one that had the speaker on the front of it. I ain't played around with that one yet. So once I get and be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna add something later, it'll be before once I begin arranging. Okay. But for right now, let's say this is what we're gonna go with. So I take my flute and my 808 up here, my bass. Although it's 808, just saying. All right. I make sure everything, my kick is in mono, my snares are in mono, except for the snare roll, because I use kind of an expander for that later on. So I don't want it in mono. I want it to be able to be three-dimensional. And once you bounce everything out, you have to, well, for the people that have Studio One or any DAW, anything that you use, you want to make sure that you gain stage. It's I can't stress it enough. It's important. And you're gonna have some things that I got some things on the YouTube channel be coming up, going more into detail, because this is just me just rough doing it, but we definitely gonna have some more time to really do some things. What is what? Gain? You talking about gain staging? Yeah, that's cool. We can leave it at 12. I just moved this up a little bit. That's cool. And then them drums, they come down. Because you got to keep the mindset of, okay, I'm about to go into mixing, right? So you don't want to slam the signal, because if you slam the signal, even when you finish the beat, the artist ain't going to be able to do nothing with it. You know what I mean? He's going to be trying to scream over it, or he going to cut it down, or, you know what I mean? So you always want to leave enough headroom for you to mix, because I still have plugins that I have to put in. So if I slam the master right now, I wouldn't have enough room to mix. And that's the most important thing in music production to me, is mixing the music and making things fit, you know. Yeah, no room. Oh, gain staging. Gain staging is it's like when you first start out a beat, all your tracks should be set at a negative. Some people do 10, some people do 12. What is the dude name? I was just watching them too, man. He an old school producer. I can't even think in my head. Real famous producer. But anyway, he gain stages. He is -18 in each track. I don't like it because it seemed a little bit too low for me and my taste. But basically what gain staging is, it keeps everything down. If you notice, as I was making the beat, I kept going, playing around, making sure that everything stays. If you notice, all of my tracks are at 0. All my tracks are at 0. But if you notice, my instruments and my drums are low. And that's what gain staging is. I use this plugin up here at the top. And you can see all the -6, 7, the -12s, the different things of that nature. Yeah. And so it helped, man. Gain staging is important because you slam that signal, or a lot of times you would make the beat, then you would go to the car and you put it in your car and you're like, man, what the, you know what I'm saying? And it's all because of it wasn't mixed properly. And I used to put stuff literally up for sale, bro. And then like years later, I go back and listen to it like, dang, man, I shouldn't even put that up. You know what I mean? It ain't even mixed right. But mix come with time, man. It takes years, and I'm still learning mixing techniques and different things. But and if y'all notice, I keep listening. Always tell people when you're making music and you sitting there, just keep listening to it, because it's no need to rush, right? Unless somebody come in and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I need a beat. Okay, you know what I mean? Then you start going into your stash, pulling out melodies. Then if he don't like that, then you go over here on the keyboard and you make a melody. You know what I mean? But in a setting that you just making a beat, it shouldn't be a thing of, oh, I'm sitting down, I'm about to crank out 10 beats. You know what I mean? It should be a thing of, all right, I'm going to make a beat. Then I'm going to arrange that beat. Then I'm going to mix that beat and then master it. So everything fits within its balance. Because people can tell when something is not mastered. You know, you don't necessarily have to master your beats. I'll put it that way. I do it so because it sounds better when it's like putting your beats for sale at a mall in the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, here go my beat. You know what I mean? You want it to be shiny, and so you put all the bells and whistles on it. But the one that I send the artist is always -6 dB, and that just gives him room to do whatever he want to do with it. Yep, that's for sure. All right, then once the gain staging is, you can always play around with it, keep playing around with it, but for right now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next stage. On the next stage, I take the instrument track, since I only just have the flute right now, and I listen to it. All right, I hear some low end on this particular track. The bass is not like boom, 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 but I know when I'm done mixing it, it's going to be up there. And the flute, that low end, and make it sound like mud on the bottom of your beat. So it's just sound like, y'all know what I mean. It's just muddy, you know. So let's see. So the first thing I want to do for the flute is to bring in I always just use the Pro EQ. It works good for me in Studio One. And then you just play it and listen to it. And this is you see this down here? All this is low end. I say from here to 50 is low end, here to here. So what you want to do is cut that out. And then I normally start at 200. You hear the difference in that? It makes it more crisp and to the ear, if that makes sense. Yeah, it definitely, man, because it takes all of that low end out. Because for a melody, you don't need all that unless that's your bass line as well, which some melodies are like that. So now, if I play the bass, there's no interference. The bass is able to come through the mix and be heard, right? And I go through the process of doing that for every track. Your kick, you have to be careful with, because if you take too much of the low end out, you're gonna make it a snare and you're gonna wonder why your mixes are. So you have to like be real careful with the kick. But you don't necessarily have to do that with the kick. You know what I mean? You don't have to take out the low end because we have a thing that we call duck. You can just duck it, parallel it, or however you want to word it. I know the MPC got a duck thing, and but it can easily be done here as well. Hold on, let me go check on my son, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. All right, where was I? Oh, yeah. So I go through and I cut out everything, but we was talking about the kick. But most definitely, sometime when you will see me when I'm mixing it. But just so y'all can hold on. Okay, that's cool. You can ride with that. Now, if you notice, when I took that low end out of that flute, that percussion came up. All them percussive sounds that I had in that you couldn't hear, they raise up. So things are beginning to shine through. You don't need that in there right now. Pause that. All right. Now we starting to, it's starting to do this, right? So we're going to the bass. Pronounce the bass a little bit more. So the first thing that I want to do is let's see if I can get that in here really quickly. Almost forgot to add this plugin that I use for mixing. And there's iZotope Neutron 3. I use that a lot of times for mixing. I'm gonna use it for mixing because it's, for me, it's quick, you know, to get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get in, make a mix, be satisfied with that mix, slap ozone on it, master it out. You know, but like I said, I got a lot of tutorials, man, that's gonna be up, that I'm working on as far as gain staging. You know, we definitely got a whole tutorial on that and how to go about doing it in anything that you work with, whether it be MPC or whether it be Fruity Loops, you know, wherever you have a DAW, whatever you're using, how to gain stage in it. The crazy thing about it, though, when I did have MPC, I'm gonna show y'all what I used to use. I haven't used it in a while. Hopefully it pop up. Let's see here. Yeah. And as y'all can see, I got, you know, I bought a couple kits or whatever, but yeah, but this is one of the things I like about when I did use MPC. I used it inside of a DAW, if that makes sense. So I didn't really use it by itself. I used it inside of Studio One, as a host or different thing. I can't get my words. What I'm trying to say here, words. All right. I go in and I name all of my relays. So when I'm down there mixing, actually on this one though, I want a real Neutron 3. This would be the 808. Even though it's bass, but we're gonna call it 808. Neutron, the instruments as well. We'll go ahead and move this one here. And you will see what I'm doing with these plugins in a few. Just stick with me. All right, we got Neutron. This is the flute. And be careful when you naming this stuff, because you want this program to identify it right. But I show y'all what I'm talking about. Like for me, it don't have to be like a long, drawn out process. I'm just real particular on what I hear, you know, in my music. Because I'm of the mind, if I played it, I want to hear it, right? I want to hear it clear. So that's just the OCD beat making that I have. All right, now that I have all that together, we're gonna keep Omnisphere here because I might still use it. All right, play it. I want to get it down to, you see how it's all the way up here. What is that? Is that negative -6, -5 right now. So when I start putting my plugins on, it's gonna go up. It's gonna start crashing and sounding all distorted, right? And this is why Gain Station is important, to keep everything at a level. So when you do start putting plugins on, if you use plugins like that, it won't exasperate, you know what I mean, the limit that you have. And I'll go into more of that in the tutorial, more detail to explain exactly what's going on. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to pull in a plugin called Neutron 3 Virtual Mixer. Okay. If you notice, right, I make it bigger so you can see it. Hopefully it show up on the thing. All right, over here, it is show, like, you got my 808, it has flute, hi-hat, kick. I got another Neutron that I haven't named yet, so I'm gonna have to find that one. And I have a relay I haven't named yet. Then snare, my top for the drums. And then the voice, I don't really have a voice. I might put a hook on here tonight, but that my voice is the tag, because you want to maintain your beat tag, because some people beat tag be so loud, you know what I'm saying, that it throw the artist off. So I try to keep it at a good enough level that you can hear it, but it won't throw the artist off. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. All right. So then I go up here. It's important that you make sure all of your mixed, all of this is up. Everything is at 0 dB. That's important when you're using this particular plugin. But I need to find that Neutron is not named. That's the 808. That's the flute. I don't remember putting a Neutron in here. All right, we'll leave it like that for now. All right. Go ahead and let's put it up to the whole thing. Neutron. All right. So it's going to ask you, like, what's your focus on this beat? Like, what do you want to stand out? For me, I would say bass and flute, but I don't know if it's gonna make the flute like ridiculously loud. So I'm just gonna put 808 and kick. And please be mindful, when you use these programs, you still have to mix. And what I mean by that is, this just helps. It's nothing like listening and learning, you know, training your ear to a point that you can hear these things without the assistance. But this does help because it puts you on the right road, and then you just have to take it and, you know, put your magic on it from there. Now it's going to say it wants to begin to listen. You click it, go back to the beginning, and you let it listen to it. Now it's finished. And if you notice how far that came down, more manageable, you can work with it better. Then you have to go into edit classification. I don't know why I'm screaming right now. But then you have to go into edit classification and make sure that it picked up on things correctly. Musical, percussion, focus. Okay, I got everything right. All right, and before you accept it, hear it and just, you know, like if you say, oh, that's too much of this or too much of that, you can always play around with it. But I like how it sounds. But if you want to, since we had our focus as the 808 and kick, if I turn the focus up, it turns it up. If I go all the way down, you can barely hear it. Let me go back to 0. Yeah, we're right with that. Now it presents you with this. It is showing you where everything is in your mix. Okay, so let's say I'm a kind of person, I like my hats all over the place, as I like, you know, not on this one, but especially on the real hard hitting ones. I love it, man. I love to just have drums like going nuts all over the place. Not all over the place, but you know what I mean. So you listen to it and you start playing around and you start mixing it. Oh, that's the snare. Okay. That's about right. All right. That's a quick mix. Boom, bam. Thank you, ma'am. It's not done. by a long shot. Let's do something to this bass. Oh, the first thing I want to do, tripping. Where's that at? Bass. You can go ahead and add compressor. I just want to side chain the kick. Okay, we did that. Now I want to add Let's add some beef. Now I want it even further. I want to distort it even further, right? Well, you get it in a minute. Hold on. Now, if you hear the bass, it kind of got like a it kind of goes out, right? I want to keep it linear. All right, let me see here. Put this here. I done had some mastering. Hold on, let me see here. Kick. See, I used to use Mix Tool. I have to change my mastering. I mean my channel strips, because now I use Relay. So for my gain staging and mixing and different things of that nature. So I always have to do this because I always forget. I always be like, hey, I gotta go in here and I gotta change this. Take the Mix Tool off and always forget. Always. Before I close out today though, I'm gonna say this. I guarantee. Put this here. Well. Yeah, I use that, no problemo. For the snare roll, I'm gonna leave it because I might add some reverb to it just to on the snare roll, because the way the snare roll hits, I kind of want to soften it. I don't know, it's just a different effect that I'm going for. Relay. Let's see here. See, it's starting to take on a different character. Starting to get more grim, right? All right, see this so I can see more. Let me duplicate this track because I want to. Is it another way of parallel your kicks? I'm sorry, paralleling your drums. Parallel your drums is to have a parallel drum bus. I don't have that on this, but I'll be showing that as well on YouTube. The YouTube tutorials, and I have more advanced tutorials on Patreon that will be coming soon. So look out for that. All right, so now that we have this one here, I want to put my parallel on it. I need to take this fat filter off. Should have two fat because I'm not using it. Yeah, there we go. And basically during the mixing process, you take these parallel kicks, snares, whatever you want to parallel to make it sound different or make it sound more full. During the mixing process, you gradually blend this up until it sound, you know, how you want it to sound. So, but for right now, I'll put it here. And hopefully y'all can hear the difference from it being on, and then I'm gonna take it off. On. Oops, sorry. It gives it a more of a, it's giving it more of a punch, right? So once you know you have that, hold on one second. Okay, I want to do the same thing to the snare. And this is just ways of doing it. Oh, I can tell. Yeah. And these are just ways of doing it. How can I say? It's so many ways to do it. I'm just showing a simple way because this whole series that I'm working on YouTube or on TikTok is, you know, beat making 101, and to help somebody, you know what I mean, learn how to make beats, you know what I mean, and have them to sound good and different things of that nature. Because I learned from somebody, you know what I mean. I learned a lot of my stuff, man, from the dude Concrete Jungle, Terrell Divine. I mean, just a little bit everywhere, man. Everywhere I went, I just tried to learn from as much as I can, especially from sound engineers. All right, I'm gonna duplicate. Same thing with this one. You can duplicate it complete. Again, anything that you see like kick 2, snare 2, that's always my parallel. Same thing with the snare. I'm gonna solo the snare. Well, I don't want to solo it, but you know what I mean. And then I'm gonna bring it up. See how it gives it that extra boom right on the edge of that snare. And basically what I did is put a compressor on it and just squash the signal. That's what a parallel is. You're just squashing it. You know what I'm saying? Because by itself, it sounds like this. If y'all can hear it, I'll turn it up so y'all can hear it. Real dull sound. But when you blend it together, it makes a difference. Then you bring everything else in, you see how it sounds? And you'll notice with every tweak that you make, every tweak you make is something else gonna pop out in the mix. That's what's so crazy. It's like, oh, okay, this is how I want it to sound. You know what I mean? Then it's like, soon as you mix something else stick up out the ground. You know what I mean? So it's like, you just want to make sure everything stay balanced, right? It's important. Now, I'm going to turn this snare down, this snare down, because listening to it, I want to listening to it, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in this drum bus. So all of my drum samples are now about to go into my drum bus. Okay. The purpose of that is to bring a glue to your drums, right? The drum bus puts a glue. This is where you add maybe a transit transit shaper, or a compressor, or whatever that you want to glue these sounds together so they sound one, right? To make them sound like, because sometimes you can hear a beat and something is over here and it's like it's not in the same group, right? So every group you want it to sound like they together. So I'm sending all my drum samples, all my drum loops that I made to the drum bus. Now, on my drum bus, I have a smack attack. I also have our compressor. Okay. So I'm gonna cut this on and off the inserts for the drum bus, and I'm just gonna sample the drums so you can hear the difference. Where is the drum? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. When you are gain stage, and you have to be careful on what you put it on, because I have it set up in Studio One that whenever I bring up a track, it's automatically going to have a gain stage at the top of it. But you definitely want to be careful with it, because you would be thinking something wrong, like, oh man, I jacked up something. And it don't even be like that. But I'm just gonna pause this flute. Let me see something real quick. I think I am gonna treat it as an 808, because it's definitely sounding more punchy, more percussive. All right, I just want to all right, so we got that there. The only instrument thing that we have is the flute, but I am going to send it over to the band bus. Again, what this does, when you shift everything, all your drums to your drum bus, all your vocals to a vocal bus, all your instruments to an instrument bus, it glues all of those things together. Then it hits your mix bus and then your master. So it's a process, just like a real switchboard. It works the same way, right? So it is always going to work through the buses, and once it gets to the thing, so it is definitely something to keep in mind when you're putting together a template. But that's way further ahead. That'll be in future tutorials on how to actually put these together. And again, when you mixing, the main thing is what? Not loudness, right? It's not about how loud something can get. It's more based on can you hear everything clearly? Okay. All right, but let me cut this down real quick. I'm gonna cut it up so you can hear it better, maybe. It's real subtle. It's almost like macaroni is macaroni. You cook it, you throw it in there, then you put some cheese on it, right? To make it all stick together. So that's basically what I'm doing when I do this. It's just making everything fit. All right, let's see here. Now we can take it back. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. Now we back. Now for the flute, the band bus, that's going to be trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Some got sent to the wrong. Let me see. Trying to figure out, do I want to treat that? Let me get the this plugin called Drip. It works pretty good. See how that fits on it. And this is when you shape and sound. You shape and sound. That's the best way I can really describe it. All right, we'll put this. I almost want to put this directly on because let's see something. I'm gonna pick something crazy, that way I know if it's signal coming through. Oh yeah, it's coming through. All right, just wanted to make sure. Some of these things in here is nuts. Now this is a good plugin if you're going to use it for the purpose of like changing something. I already like how the flute sound, but if you wanted to change it, right? Maybe some part of the song you wanted to change. You don't want to do too many change ups, but maybe a bridge or something like that. Hold on, let me see. Since I like how it sounds, because it sounds good by itself. So the only thing that I would add on it is a little polish, right? So listening to the flute now, in my head, I'm like, okay, let's try maybe RC20 and see how that fits on it. Yes, you got to be careful though when you're using color plugins, because you can really tear some stuff up, but it adds character to it. If you see add it to the flute, like a vinyl sound, like a record. And then you can just play around with different things. And then in mixing that flute, I added something to it. It's loud. We'll deal with that. I knew some sounded wrong. I'm like, man, I kept hearing some low end. Maybe mistaken and got rid of that plug-in to take out that low end on that flute. All right. All right, there we go. And then you just move everything around the taste. And you can do all that within the mixer. Widen the signal a little bit. I want it a little bit louder than that. I like that right there. All right, now you see how I went in, because I don't want to touch my faders. I want to allow Neutron to do, for me, I like to mix everything in here because I'm a visual person. So it's just easier for me to like know where everything at, because on here, if you go up, it's going louder, of course. If you go down, it's going lower. You know, if you go right, you go right. You go left, you go left. If you go this way, is wherever you want to fit that sound. So you can literally draw a picture if you wanted to. That I show in some tutorials. I actually have some things that I know exactly how that's going to sound. But it's cool, man. This is one good way of mixing. One good way. There's so many different ones. But this one I wanted to, because I think is good. But the next video, I want to show how to mix when you do not have like Neutron. How to make beats when you don't have Omnisphere. Things of this nature. For people just now getting into it and was like, oh man, I don't have Omnisphere. People actually think they need that to make good beats. It helps. Don't get me wrong, I use it almost in every production. Um, you know, I use Trillion. I use Omnisphere. I use. I don't have Nexus. Um, some producers swear by it. I don't like it. That's just me. Um, but let me see. I got what y'all saw me work with earlier was Trillion. Um, yeah, I got a lot of stuff, a lot of different plugins. Trap Soul, but Sublab is something that I use all the time. That's how we came up with this bass. Sublab from Future Audio Workshop. Busywork Beats actually got a nice one, man. I don't know if anybody familiar with Busywork Beats. He got a nice plugin. Um, especially if you doing trap, different things of that nature. But anyway, I just want to show how to make a beat on just the sounds that you have when you buy um, your equipment or whatever. How can I make a beat with the sounds that I already have, or do I have to go get these expensive plugins, Waves plugins, in order to make good music? And you don't. You don't. You can make good music. You don't have to spend, you know, a ton of cash to make good music. Omnisphere, Trillion, and all this just makes it easier, right? But it's not a necessity. Yeah, Patreon. You can go and see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like the general support is just general support, like $5 a month. You know what I mean? That gets um as far as on the site, as far as beat submissions and different things of that nature. Now the $20 a month, that's different because I'm working with that producer or that artist, mostly producers, but one on one, and showing them like tricks. Like this is just what you would probably find on a lot of YouTube videos and different things of that nature. But I definitely want to show this. I don't mind showing this, but then there's other things that I want to show. Um, that's what the Patreon is for. So, but trust me, even on YouTube, it's going to be a lot of stuff that you can learn. Cause thinking of that, I got to work tomorrow. About what? What you been doubting yourself about, Kurt? Yeah, look into that. King Blur, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just check it out. If you have any questions about it, just let me know and I can give you more details on it. But basically it helps me out, you know what I mean? So I can take out the time to do the things that I want to do as far as teaching people music. Because it ain't just about, oh, let me just get this banger out. Um, I love to teach, you know what I mean? Especially something that I have a passion for. So, but at the same time, got a kid, got a wife, you know how it is. What you been doubting yourself about? Oh, no, man. Don't don't even get to a point that you feel like uh uh don't get to a point that you feel like you gotta buy all this stuff, man. Trust me. Trust me. We'll talk later, but trust me. You don't get into a thing of I have to have Omnisphere. I have to, and I get it, right? Because a lot of people would come to my lives and be like, "Oh, he got Omnisphere." You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's why. A plug-in don't make you a hit, right? It's been hits made off that they didn't use Omnisphere, they didn't use Trillion, right? I mean, you can make hits without it. I don't know what DAW. What DAW do you use, Kurt? Yeah, I see you, King Blur. I see you trying to do this music thing. That's what's up, man. Because that's like what it's gonna take, right? It's going to take a persistent, being persistent. You know what I mean? I just try to teach people an easy way of mixing, the things that I've learned just through the years of just trolling YouTube and going to YouTube University. And I had a couple classes in mixing, but I learned the majority of my stuff, man, and just years of just trial and error and listening to these credible, creditable. I think I put too many syllables in there. But you get what I'm saying. Good people, good producers. That's who you want to learn from. You know what I mean? Because anybody can get on and just copy what somebody else is doing. So, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, King Black. Yeah, man, I love this, man. I love making music. Oh, you using Studio 5? Oh, come on, man. That's what I'm using. Nah, uh, yeah, I can definitely, man. So you might want to check that out as far as the uh uh I mean, you will learn a lot just going on YouTube and watching the videos that I'm about to start cranking out. It help you a lot. Then if you feel like that's helping you, head over to the Patreon page because I go into more depth, and be able to handle people more one-on-one, if you will. So, but yeah, man, the next tutorial is going to be about going into Studio One or your DAW, but I'm using Studio One. How to make a beat without with everything. I'm making a beat with just Studio One. I'll put it that way. No extra plugins, no, not my Pro Ls, not my waves, none of that. We just gonna make a beat with the plugins that we have. Like I said, the plugins that we mentioned, when you have them, yes, of course, it makes it easier, right? But once you learn how to take the sounds that's given to you and make something good, when you get good sounds, it's going to be easy, right? It's going to be easy for you to go in and just lay something because it's like you got so accustomed to making things fit. That's why if you notice in this tutorial, a lot of times I'm saying, you know, you just got to make things fit, make things fit because that's what I didn't have all the things that I have. So it used to have to be just a crappy computer and I ain't even have pads. I used to have to draw everything in, you know what I mean? But uh that's how I taught myself how to hear, you know what I'm saying, and listen to things. And Mr. Reagan, I give him a lot of credit because he taught me how to be patient with the mix, you know what I mean, different things of that nature. So oh, thanks, Kurt. Yeah, man, I just try to be real with people, man, because I think a lot of times when people make it seem like, oh, I got this, I got that, and you can't make music like me because you don't have that, that's not true. Because I known people who make fire beats, bro. Fire. I'm talking about flames coming out the mouth, toasty flames. About fire beats. And they didn't use Omnisphere, none of that. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Now they Fruit Loop, they FL producers. But they knocked it out, man. And a lot of things that's in FL like Ghost Notes and all that's is inside of Studio One. As far as Ghost Notes and you know, let me see. Of course, it's not going to be there now, but you know, you'll go here and you know it does the same thing, Ghost Notes. So, oh no, man, I don't watch so many videos, bro. Like on YouTube, I'm talking about like just like this, just just in the days, just watching videos for years, for years. And I used to hate. Like this is not really. This is just a live. But my tutorials, I'm very look. This is what it is. This is how you do it. You know what I mean? Let's get in. Let's get out. On the live, I'm more talkative because I want to you know, I want to be able to talk to y'all and different things of that nature as well. But when I'm doing the tutorial videos, that's different. You know what I mean? It has a directive. This is don't really have a directive. Y'all just kind of like in the room with me while I'm making the beat. But I can't help but explain what I'm doing because y'all watching it. So that's just kind of how I am, man. I don't want to just be making a beat and don't acknowledge y'all like y'all ain't there. You know what? I haven't had Prime in a while. Is that the free version that's the free version, right? Or no? Or is that artist? I'm confused now. Which one is Prime? Is that the free one? Oh, it is the free one? Okay. Man. I think they got limitations on the free one. I'm not sure. I think it's like I don't think you do you ha- I don't think they have plugins in the first one? Like certain plugins you don't have, right? Because if I was you and you like the DAW, like this is a DAW that you're going to use, I just go head over to Splice and it's like $16 a month. You know what I mean? Because I had Studio One ever since Studio One 3. And then I started using MPC and I didn't use Studio One no more. So the license some had got all jacked up. So I had to buy it again. And so I was like, I'm not buying it again. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like I just bought it. You know what I mean? I've been having it for years. So what I wound up doing with the studio. Oh, it is. It is limited. But so what I wound up doing, I went over to Splice, and it's like 16.99 a month. You know what I mean? And then you just download it and use it. It's current. It's I mean actually that's what I'm working out of right now because I was like I'm not shoveling out another $400 $500 for a doll that I had already bought. So somebody told me about Splice, so I went to Splice, and I think they give you 3 days, 3 to 5 days free. Like once you download it, you can start using it, really using the full production version of it. They give you 3 days to decide if you want to keep it or not. No, 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 it's not cheap. It's not cheap. Music, man, music is one of those things that you have to really love it, man, if you're gonna produce in it. I mean, even if you the type that like to do cracked plugins and different things of that nature, it's still it takes a lot, man. You know what I mean? Is one of those things that you have to love it because sometimes the investment is not right away. The investment takes time. I mean, the payback from your investment takes time. Yeah, Splice got it rent to own, man. They got a rent to own on what they got. What you saw me mixing in that Nexus 3, and what you about to see me put a ozone on in a minute. All that, bro, was uh on Splice. I think Neutron and Neutron 3 and the Ozone 9 is the most though. I think that's like 29 a month, which is not bad, but it's like 29 a month. Are you producing your album? All right, we got it pretty much where we want it. So I'm going to take it up here, duplicate it. We know we don't want any of the drums. in the intro. I'm gonna. Oh man, you ain't playing around. You trying to produce a whole album over there, huh? How far you done got into it? On my mix bus, I always use some kind of tape saturation. Um, just again, it just adds a different, more flair. Master Titan open. Another plugin. This I actually learned this from Terrell Divine. The plugin that I'm about to add now, and it does help. Now it's gonna be funny. That tutorial tomorrow, man. I mean, not tomorrow. What's tomorrow? No, that tutorial. I'm sorry. That tutorial won't. Well, I might still do it tomorrow. I might still do it tomorrow because it's a lot of people be thinking they have to have all this expensive equipment to get stuff done. That's not true. All right. All right. So what I added was an NLS bus. To make a long story short, it just adds a little analog sound, adds a little flair. Well, I remember when he first said it, I was like, I don't hear nothing. When I was watching this video, I'm like, I don't hear that. But yeah, you definitely hear it. You always wanted to be the first signal. I mean, your first plug-in on the channel strip. Now the plugins that I'm using now, Kurt, a lot of these are Waves and iZotope. But the tutorial that I do next, I won't be using any of these. And I think that might help you out a lot. Alright, let's see, do this here to here. Now, out of 12, 2 songs out of 12, huh? Hey, I appreciate you too, man. Like I said, I'm here to help artists and producers be the best they can be, man. You know what I mean? That's what the whole YouTube tutorials is about. This is why I get on live, to show, I know it's just a beat making video. It's just me making a beat, but at the same time, I want to kind of explain as I go what I'm doing and different things of that nature. And maybe it can help somebody else out because somebody helped me out. You know, I don't want to be the type that's like, oh, well, I don't want to teach nobody. I'm just going, you know, now it is certain things that I won't tell nobody, but that's any producer. But for the things that I have that's not signature to me, I mean, I don't mind, man. I mean, that's what it's about, man. What kind of sound you looking for? You looking for like a dirty sound, or I mean, what's the genre that you in? For people that's watching on Twitch and YouTube, I know y'all like, what is going on? Is he talking to himself? He's crazy. No, I'm talking to TikTok because I'm also live on TikTok. So um, I didn't want it to just be Twitch or just YouTube. TikTok gave me that that fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Oh, storytelling vibe, like a UK feel, like a drill feel. All right, let me see. All right, let me see. So now what I want to do is I want to bring everything down a little bit more because I want. Let me see. I'm at about -6, -7. Now this like if I was to bounce this down because it's hitting at minus, you know, around -6, -7. Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right, I got you. I got you. Yeah, it seemed like it's all in the hats, man. Is you know what I mean? Dark feel. It can be. It's in the hats. It's in your melody. Um, you know, it, it's like stair steps in a way. It's kind of hard for me to explain it. Like, oh, hold on, let me see. Got. See if I have a loop real quick for you so I can show you what I'm talking about. I don't know exactly which one I want to go to real quick. All right, I know where I want to go. Like something like that. Waldo Mage, what's poppin', man? How you feeling, man? You feeling better? I know you was out for a minute. I know you was telling me something like that. Hope you feeling. Hope everything all right with you. Oh man. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. My prayers to be definitely be with you, man. Yeah, see, you won't if you looking for something like this. You see how slow and now listen to the notes. The main meat. You see how it's stair stepping? So it kind of, yeah, that's messed up, man. Real sorry to hear that. But yeah, Kurt, so it goes down. You want your melody, and then you have your upper harmonics. You know what I mean? But like I said, the tutorials and everything, you know what I'm saying? It'll help you a lot as far as finding the energy that you want to display, whether it be happy, whether it be sad, whether it be, you know what I'm saying? Especially if, I don't know if you play an instrument, but especially if you don't play an instrument, right? Your emotion come out of, a lot of times, for me anyway, now I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it comes off of what I play. Like if I'm playing the keyboard, or if I'm drumming, I'm zoning, right? I'm feeling it. And that's where you get that, like, oh, his drum pattern different, or he play his snares different, or he do this, because you're just in that moment. That helps a lot. Yeah, mixing. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then. Now I want to take all these down. I want to bring them down. I mean, I could just do it in here, which guess I will. I guess I will. Let's bring it down. Let's see. All right. A little bit more. I'm hitting at about -10 over here on my master. And that's kind of where you want to be at um, before you start slamming it with mastering and different things of that nature. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. All right, so the best test to, okay, do I have this right? I'm about to show you. Let's see. I am about to show you how to do it. All right, let me see. We go down here and we find. All right, let me hear something real quick. Oh man, I might have to put some vocals in there, like right before it. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, so we noticed the intro. We know your loudest part of your song will be your chorus, your hook. And then I always, the way this template is set up, it has a bridge right here. I don't necessarily use it. I did use it on the last one, but this one I'm not going to use it. I'm going to treat it as a verse. So this is pretty much how I start off when I begin arranging and mixing and different things of this nature, okay? So then I add what I suppose I had been grabbing when I came in here. Where are you? Let's see, yeah. Oh, I'm in the instruments tab. Most of them I can't find it, no wonder why. All right. Let's go ahead and slap a ozone on here. It should have been already on here because okay, never mind. There it goes. There it goes. I'm gonna move the neutron over here. That's the neutron that was messing me up. I kept saying it was a third one. I was trying to figure out where it was at. All right. I don't really like to put anything on my master bus. My main master channel, I mean. As far as this plugin right here is Restream. Basically what it does is it sends my signal over to my OBS streaming software. So that has to be on that channel, but that's the only thing that I have on there, and that's only on there when I'm doing live. Do you? Man, I'm telling you, I be over there looking hard too, like man, I just had it. Where is it at? Then I look up and I be like, oh, you got that. You be having that boo-boo face like like, oh, it sucks. All right, so now we go in here. One of the things, man, I like to really pay attention to a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times. Where's that at? Yeah, I like to put an imager on, but let me see something. In this area right here in ozone, I can mark off certain things and hear each frequency from my low band, my mid highs, and my highs. You can hear it all. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna set that up here. But I love to have that imagery in there. All right. We started off at medium. It's gonna ask you to put it in the. Again, I can't stress this enough. When you're using plugins like Ozone and Neutron 3, different things of this nature, mixing plugins, as far as like that got AI in it that listens to it and kind of sets the right course for you. Always don't just trust it. You have to use these. You know what I mean? Use your ears. It's very important that you use your ears, because a machine can never, it can get close, but it can't, replicate what you like to listen to, because the AI is saying what book text, what the book say. That's what these plugins is going to give you. But you always want to end it on what you say, because you're the producer, you're the one composing. Oh, I started in the wrong spot, so hold on. All right, medium, next. Started right here. This would be the loudest part of the song, because I'm not going to put any vocals in it, so. Oh, okay. I got it. But right now, I'm gonna have to put it over here. The Restream plugin is it's acting up for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm just not sure. Let me see something. Yeah, I got a dead bus over here somewhere. I figure it out later. Oh, I know what it is. It was the J37. It adds like a static effect to it, which works good, but I already have a static effect, so I don't want to overdo it. right, let me see here. Now, as soon as I leave this, the hook, and go into the verse, then you want to start changing things up a little bit, opening up room, right? Opening up space. But since this is probably going to go up TikTok, I'm going to do a TikTok version, which normally I just do 8 bars, intro, 8 bars, hook, and then immediately start going into spitting bars or whatever. All right. And we'll get our volume back in a minute. Let me see here. I'm just playing around with the dBs, you know, just to see, you know, where I want to go with it. Then you drop something. Maybe you might can leave these out. Well, let's take these out, leave this in, bring the 808 back. Oh, the melody is it's a flute. It's a, hold on 1 second. Down, come on down. And move this really quickly. Let's move this for a second. There we go. Which one did I use? Bum, 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 bum. And I love this. This plugin is a beast. I don't even lie. I love this one. Man, what was it? I'm just gonna have to. I just put flute. I probably should have put what it was. But I'll find it out and then I'll let you know. No problemo. I think it was the alto flute. But to answer your question, yeah, it was just one flute. I mean, I'm gonna be doing some plugin tutorials too, guys. You know, like good free plugins that I use, good paid plugins. Like within Studio One, what plugins do you use, Kurt? All right. Let's get back to this. Did I do that again? Gotta be kidding me. I want to redo these. And I want to take these off of my bus. See if I just remove that. See how that works out. Yeah, this is actually my first time using this particular game stage plugins. They seem pretty cool. I mean, I always use Mixtool. There we go. That's what I wanted to distort it. All right. So now I knew something right. I'm like, what is going on? Cut this down. Cut this down. But everything else can. Well, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave that down. Put everything else at 0. Head back over here. Play it again and make sure. Alright. Now as you can tell is distorted, right? Not good. So we go back into the mix assistant. You have the 808, the flute, the hi-hat, Basse Bleak, all the way down. I want my 808 and my kick to be the focus. They want you to play it. And this is the best way, to me, for beginners. I know it don't seem like that, but it like listens, it puts you in the right place, and then you can start mixing from there. It's gonna sound distorted for a minute, but you know, so you might want to cut it down a little bit. I cut it down on my end. While it's listening to it, I don't want to, because it's an aggravating sound, trust me. We like 45 over. There we go. Now, if you look down here, I can cut this back up now. All right. See how it just took all those levels and brought them to a respectable spot. Now you can go in and start mixing. I mean, we already mixing, but fine tune it. There we go. That's the effect that I was telling y'all earlier I wanted to add. I just wanted to add a little room reverb to that snare roll to kind of like put it in its own place, right? It's important. Yep. All right. So now, seriously, on all these, I need to bring them down maybe maybe 7, 8. So we'll start from the flute. And normally I don't have to, you know, do it twice, but sometimes you do it. It all depends. All right, let me see. We'll put this at let's go with -8 across the board and see where that puts us. Okay, puts us in a decent spot. Oh, that's what it was. I knew it was something. I knew it was something. That's what it was. Third-party plugins. Yeah. So this next tutorial gonna help you a lot, because that way, I mean, you do have the plugins that all the plugins that come with it, like Impact and all that, right? Yeah, I'm like, once you watch the tutorials, you're going to be able to make a beat with the plugins that come with your DAW. You know, I tell people, don't try to rush out and buy all this stuff, man. You'll break yourself. This stuff is nuts. When you first starting out, you know what I mean? That's right. That's cool. Right, where is that? I'm gonna let it go ahead and do its thing. I'm gonna do it aggressive. I'm gonna put the intensity as aggressive. Why not? I put the streaming. I mean, I put the quality as streaming. Don't nobody really have CDs no more, so everything is streaming now. But I understand why you would want to use CDs though. If you got your things up loud, you might want to cut it down because it's gonna go up. And then from there, you just go, see that's hitting hard. And then you go over here. And then you just start playing around in here. If you already like the mix, you don't have to worry about it. Like, you shouldn't have to go back in here and mess with nothing. But that's what I was telling y'all earlier about that bass. How I needed that to, you have to think ahead, right? You have to hear your sounds ahead. Like, I knew that bass was going to cause problems in the flute. I'm sorry, the flute was going to cause problems in the bass. So earlier, what did we do? We stripped out that low end and made it to a point that that 808 can punch through, or that bass can punch through the mix, because that's what you want. You want everything to be on in the same song, but you want everything to be able to be heard, right? You want it to be heard. You want people to be like, oh man, did you hear that little thing in the back? Oh, did you hear that? That's what you want to do. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to do it in a point that it sounds as best as possible. Yeah, yeah. And have fun while you doing it. Like, I ever saw somebody make a beat and they be like, they just mad, man. Like, what you mad for, bro? You know what I mean? Like, be happy at what you do, right? I don't care what you do. Be happy at it. And now you see why I put that that reverb, that ta-ta-ta. It makes that sound just float out. Because at first it was hitting right kind of with the other snare. And I wanted it to kind of blend out. So it can be heard. Now here would be something that I do something different, like towards the end. Like, let's say I just give an idea, and then I'm, after this, then I'm gonna get up out of here. And then you just pretty much just continue finishing out the song, arranging your song, your hook, your bridge, if you're gonna have a bridge, your verses, different things of that nature. And trap music. Your hook is 16 bars, and I'm sorry, the standard time is 8 bars. All right, so what I'm gonna do with this particular one is a lot of different things we can do. I can just reverse it to give it a different sound. Which I do not like. So we reverse that back. Then you can take it. Let's say if you duplicate the whole track, duplicate complete. And then we take this, the remainder, boom, 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 boom. And now we have a flute 2. So now, after I already said I'd be up out of here in a minute, I just lied to y'all. I'm sorry. So sorry. All right, let's add Looperman. See what we can get here. If you don't know what Looper is, guess what? You're about to find out. All right, so we got the same EQ for this one. We can go ahead. I'm trying to figure halftime. I don't want to do halftime either. Oh man, I'm tripping. Once I learn how to spell, I'll be able to find it right. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, what's up, Dio? So basically, you taking it and you just changing it. That's basically, and it's just changing it subtle to a point that it ushers in something else. It's some, it's just, it's a part in there I don't want though. Hold on. It's definitely something I'm hearing I don't like. So when you get that, you come down, isolate that section. There you go, that. I want to get rid of that. That, I don't like that. Let me see. Now, when you change something around like that, a lot of times what I would do is play around with hooks and play around with bridges, play around with verses. Because you don't want that same flute just going through the whole joint, right? I mean, it's cool when it's going through the verses or whatever, but you definitely want what we call arrangement. So if I was to pull this one down, let's say if we come in from, and I don't know, it might sound good, it might not. You can't be afraid to try stuff. That's one thing, it's important. Now, since I have this 808, I'm gonna unmute it and I'm gonna kill the 808 here. And the reason I'm doing that is because when coming from a change, I want that 808 to keep that consistency. It keeps the gel. Because if I take the 808 out, when it comes in, it's gonna sound empty to me. I started here. Actually, it don't sound that bad. Now, since I was trying to create something on the end of the, but now of the second verse, but I mean, there's really no need to because it's going to loop right back um into the part that I wanted. So we'll start it here. Oops. I'm pressing my keyboard. I mean my pads. My back. I get excited. I be pressing my pads. I be like, oops. Ay, ay. Okay, now another thing that I want to add, and I promise you I'm out. I'm out of here. I'm for real this time. We're gonna use a crash. I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, he gonna use a crash? What's wrong with it? It's gonna be all loud. But I'm going to show you something really quick. Quick trick. And you can use a lot of different sounds. You can actually use bass. On a lot of my tracks, I use a bass as a riser. Just take it, flip it, so it's crescendoing up. You know, there's so many different ways that you can use it. But this particular one, I'm gonna use a crash. I need something like a I keep saying crash. I'm sorry. Cymbal. And again, for this particular track, that's why I say always listen to it constantly. Now you have it in your head. You know what I mean? I mean, you can always play it, but ooh, cut it down a little bit. Oh yeah, I remember that. Whoever made that particular sample did not like it. Let's try this one. Let's give this one a try. Take it, reverse it. Bring it in a little bit. You definitely want to put the NLL in it, LS bus on it. You're gonna have to put a relay on it. Definitely gonna need the relay. See, and we see how it sounds. Because some cymbals don't sound right, and you have to just play around with it till you get the one that you want. There we go. And then, you know, one of the things you want to do, you know it, Dia. One of the things you want to do is duplicate it, put it right after any transitional point. And what I mean by transitional point, anything you're taking something away, that's going to be a transition. That's you're moving, you're changing the energy of the song. Whenever you take the hats out to leave room for the artist or to leave room in the beat period for it to breathe, every time you take something out, it changed the energy of the song, if that makes sense. So before every energy change, as I like to put it, you want to put a transition. It don't have to be a symbol. I was just showing you something easy to do, but it's so many different things you can use. A Foley, so many different things that you can use to have a transition. Um, Another thing too, even like for here, let's say if on this particular one, I wanted to zoom in on it. I want to, you know, I might do it right after the hook. Let's try this. Then I go in and I take some of that out, right? Just a little bit. And it gives it a feel to it. See, transition. It took it from something and ushered it. You know, that's the best way to say it. It takes it from something and it ushers it into something else. It's like ushering you into a different part of the song. Yeah, it's the Kurt, yeah, the little tweaks make a difference. And Dio, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Um it kind of like just worked together. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to explain. It's like you hear something and it's like that's gonna be a problem later, but you want to keep it. You know what I mean? It's like I want that sound, but that's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna have to deal with that. So it just depends. But that's another way of putting room into a song is to right in the transition. Just make sure you're not cutting off any signals though, because then you'll get popping sounds and all that kind of stuff. So you like if you're in the middle of a hat, I'm sorry, in a kick or an 808, and if you take it back, that 808 is going to cut off, and you're going to leave like a popping sound, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure the number one rule with mixing is for me is to have a clean mix, right? Like even with TikTok, when I first started uploading, I was just making the beats and just doing a quick mix. You know what I mean? But it's a big difference. Like from the first challenge beat that I put up that I actually took a lot of time and mixed. And like the last two beats that I put up, I took a lot of time to mix it. it's important because it brings life to your music. And like like Kurt was saying how the little tweaks, the little things, and it is, man, it's the little things that make a song. Arrangement is important too, where you put these instruments after you play them. You know what I mean? So all that is important, but that's a transitional part. I'm gonna duplicate this, put this here, because it's transitioning again. We're taking something out. Okay. I'm not going to put a gap here unless a lot of times the artists want you to pull out. You know what I mean? Hey, take that out, then drop me back in, or you know what I mean, or whatever. But for the sake of this, we just gonna play it how it is and go from there. And I'm gonna let it play through, and then I'm gonna get out of here, and then I'll see y'all sometime tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get on tomorrow. Tomorrow's not actually a broadcast day, but I do want to get on because I've been getting that question a lot, man. As far as, do I need atmosphere? Do I need these things to make good music? It helps, but your DAW comes equipped with some decent sounds. So I'll show you all that. You might have to do more work as far as reverb and getting it to sit right, but you can make a hit, and I'll show you. Oh, hold on one sec. I gotta make sure the beat tag not hitting too loud.
Not to beats go crazy. Not to beats go crazy. Not to beats go crazy.
And the reason just to so y'all know, the reason I mute things out, and you see me just muting things as I go, as I arrange, that's how I arrange. Like I will put, when we first started, we just had this one part here. I'm all pointing on the screen like y'all can see it. But this one part right here, that's all we had. And I just kept duplicating that. And then you just take things in, take things out. Add instruments if you want to. Later on down in the production, you can. So many different ways, man. I'm gonna let this play. I'll be right back. Check on my son real quick. All right, no problem, man. No problem, Dio. Y'all have my schedule. I think I put up a video on it. Man, I'll be up. I'll be showing things, what I can show and different things of that nature. I'll be going live on, when I do go live, it's TikTok. Excuse me. It's TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. But I haven't done Facebook as of yet because every time I do it, I seem to have problems. So I just been doing it to YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. All of them is Kanata Beats. Come learn. That's why I call it Beats and Chat, man. I just make a beat and we talk it out. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? If you want more in-depth tutorials, head over to the Patreon page. And then we'll handle it from there. But much love to everybody, man. I see y'all on the next time out, man. Appreciate y'all, man.